that's us now. I think that's us now. I figured out what it was. I still had my VPN switched on. That's what it is. So I need to do a pre-stream thing where I ensure that my VPN isn't switched on. Hiya, how's it going everybody? Welcome in twitch.tv/1030. Can you hear and see me? 1, 2, 3 in the chat. Hello, how's it going? You into it? We into it? You's into it? I just appeared. So who knows if I've absolutely ruined my chances then of getting people in. But I hope yous are doing good. See, the thing is, I have I just set up like a really cool setup. And then get rid of it all. So now I need to redo my full setup. Took me about 10 minutes to set this up. Anyway, welcome in folks. Turns out I still had my VPN on. Thank you very much everybody for all this sort of stuff. Let's go into Twitch. I'll go to my stream manager and we can see all these lovely people that are subbing and all of that sort of stuff. Welcome in. What's even happening? Hello Stevja. Maximum respect. Here's my Twitch Prime. That's no longer Twitch Prime or something. I don't know. I don't know either. And it's my job to know. They sent us an email. Twitch Prime's now merging into this other thing. But don't worry because it's the same or something. I don't know. Says the Twitch email. I'm suspicious. Stevja, thank you very much for giving us the Twitch Prime for as long as it lasts. Hiya, how's it going? Kirsten, welcome in. Thank you very much for resubbing. How you doing? And Cosmic Muse, thank you very much for resubbing. Maximum respect. Another Prime sub, fantastic. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Sorry, the stream got off to a wee bit of a shaky start because what it was I had my my VPN was switched on. My stream quality is still saying unstable, and yet I'm streaming at 1080p, so I think we're all fine. Hello, and how are you doing? Hello Carnivore, ADSR Thug, Echo Thump, Dwayne Dibley, how's it going? Carnivore again, The Hitcher, how you doing? A new era of stream automation live, yes. What it was I just had my VPN switched on. So sorry if that was kind of bad for your perspective, because you got a notification and then I wasn't live for a good 5 minutes. But we're back. Streams crashing always bug the app for some reason. Shit, man. Twitch insist. No, Prime subs aren't going anywhere. Right. Hammy's in, ADSR Thug is in, who's sent me a wee bit of good news. Alright. Oh, amazing. So Hammy says, I'm a big fan of Slow Horses on Apple TV, one of our favourite shows on TV right now. It was wild to see in Season 5 Episode 2 the interior of Roddy's apartment, as all of his posters were artwork our team worked on to various degrees. Check this out. So Hammy, who's in chat, worked on these posters that were featured as a thing in Slow Horses on Apple television. There's that guy. Look at that. God of War poster and all of that. Some gaff, let me tell you. Some gaff. How cool is that, seeing your stuff out in the wild? That's amazing. That is some incredibly good news, man. That's incredibly good news. Steph just says, did you show GFK getting domed again? I did not. I've only done that once. But that's cool. I've not seen Slow Horses. I haven't seen Slow Horses. Sorry if the stream was crashing a wee bit at the start of the stream, but I think that's me fixed it now. So welcome in everybody, we're back, and I should type in refresh. Like that. Carnivore's asking, are they giving Prime subs the heave-ho? Well, according to Twitch they aren't, right? But what's happening is Twitch is renaming some or something like that. I got an email about it. Let's read it. As you know, communication isn't really the best when it comes to Twitch. So they're renaming a Prime thing or something. And as a consequence, oh, don't worry, is what they're saying. But as soon as like a big company like Twitch says don't worry, I'm like, right. I don't even know. I can't even find the email anymore. It doesn't matter. But who knows, mate? Aye, here we go. 10:30 starts the email. Today, Amazon confirmed that it is retiring the Prime Gaming brand. But fear not, the Prime benefits available on Twitch are not changing. Viewers who have linked their Twitch and Amazon accounts and have an active Prime membership will continue to receive one free Twitch channel sub per month, in addition to expand emote sets, chats, colours and extend broadcast storage. While you will no longer to see references to Prime Gaming on Twitch, the process of redeeming your free sub with Prime will not change. Prime members will also continue to enjoy the benefit of free PC games every month that they can download and keep forever. Whereas Amazon Prime is available as part of Luna Standard, this includes those Prime countries where Luna Cloud delivered games are not yet available. What does all of that mean? I think what that means is current viewers who have linked their Twitch and Amazon accounts and have an active Prime membership will continue to be able to do that. But I think future viewers who have got Amazon Prime probably won't be able to link their Prime thing. So if you've currently locked in, if you've already linked your Amazon account and your Twitch account, I think for the entirety of until they change their mind, I think you will continue to redeem a Prime sub. However, I'm reading between the lines here, and I would bet that future ones won't be able to. But I just don't know. They're terrible at communication. Hello Twitch. Is it true that future people who want to take advantage of a Prime... Well, first off, a subscription doesn't mean subscription because the word subscription renews every month, but a Twitch Prime sub doesn't renew every month. So not only is it not a Twitch Prime sub, but it never was, but it's no longer Twitch Prime anymore because Prime Gaming is rebranded to Luna Standard. But I think what they haven't said here is probably future people won't be able to take advantage unless they have already linked their Twitch account to their Amazon account. I think. It doesn't tell you when this is happening. So, what happens if I, right now, go to twitch.tv/prime gaming.amazon.com. Okay, everybody, see if you have currently already got Amazon Prime and you're a Twitch viewer. I highly recommend, if you haven't already done so, go to gaming.amazon.com because I think they will probably end this soon because it's a good deal. It is a good deal. We had it too good for too long. Go to gaming.amazon.com and there you can link your Twitch account with your Amazon account. That entitles you to get one free sub, but it isn't really a sub because it doesn't renew. One free month, every month of Twitch. So hard to explain, man. They've made it so hard to explain. It's not even called Prime anymore. I don't have the words for it. Maybe I could communicate it via gestural interpretive dance. So in conclusion, gaming.amazon.com. Thanks very much Twitch. Once again, thank you very much for making it hard to be a streamer. There you go. Much clearer now. Aye, there you go. That's that. Naughty Uncle James is what it was. Naughty Uncle James. So, to answer your question, Carnivore, I couldn't tell you. Don't know. Couldn't tell you. To be honest, I think Slow Horses might have been Sony Pictures Television involved in the production. That would make a lot of sense, Hammy. That would make a lot of sense. Characters have got PSPs and that. The email was the first I heard anything about the merger thing. I don't even know if it's a merger. I think it's a rebrand, but as part of the rebrand, they're taking away features or something. I couldn't tell you. Don't know. No more Prime games? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Prime Music? Don't know what that is. Don't know. Your Luna credits will transfer to Twitch Prime bits at a rate of 10 to 1. It's so hard, isn't it? Forget the original number you were thinking of. Add on some other stuff. I don't know. It's a simple reverse credit split. It's a funnel system. Can't Give a Duck says, just want to say thank you for streaming. I really appreciate everything you do to make the stream happen, especially all the behind the scenes work that we never get to see. Your personality truly shines through, and I'm grateful for the time you share with us, strangers on the internet. I Can't Give a Duck. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very, very much. What a nice thing to read. Thank you. Carvor has said, funny how so many streaming services have devolved into cable TV with paid subscriptions plus ads. That pirating is really taken off like the late thousands. Aye. Well, I tell you what, if you pay for a sub here, you don't get any ads. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? Pedropolis, how you doing? Welcome in. It's just a Twitch one-shot legacy. I don't know what any of these words mean. I don't know about anything. Housley's not gonna lie, Sora 2 has been out less than 24 hours and I'm sick of seeing its output and people comment on it. Aye, I don't have access to it, otherwise I would have messed about with it a wee bit. But it's too good, man. I think we've turned a corner in terms of AI video generation. I think my job as a visual effects artist and motion graphics artist will be in the bin in less than 2 years, maybe. I think everything's all fucked, quite honestly. I quite liked how... So for people who haven't seen it, there's a new AI video tool out, and this one's like better than any one that has been out before, to the point that it can create pretty realistic videos. So it's called Sora 2. It's made by the people that run OpenAI, and it's like, it looks good in terms of output. So you can create things like this without much work. It does the audio and the video. You can create stuff like this. Where are we?
Get ready to jet to fun with Secret Island. Fly in your own private plane, then unlock the hidden massage room.
Whoa, secret room!
Kick back with 2 chill old dudes and discover the treasure.
Treasure time!
Fly in on the private plane, pop open the door, and the old guys arrive in style.
There's treasure in here!
Hit the rock.
Bam!
Secret room packed with loot. Twist the volcano and...
Hit
the panic button.
Here goes! It's so loud!
Hey, whoosh! Slide into the swirl!
Bill! 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 Bill!
The squishiest blue and white goo that makes waves any way you want. Stretch it, splash it.
Whoa, it opened!
The only island with real working spy cams hidden in secret rooms.
And I can see it on the
Track
screen.
the old guys, guard the treasure, and fly in with your own private plane.
Hey, new from Toy Island.
It's Orange Man!
Don't release the files.
Push his back and hear the real talking action.
He's guarding the top secret
Not for
file!
long.
Don't release the file. Capture him, lock him up, and expand the adventure.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Get ready to jet to fun with Secret Island.
So there's that, right? And do you know, as it happens, I know of a project where we can directly compare that to somebody who did it in real life, and it took months of, well, weeks of work at least. So there's a guy, Darren McNaney, spelling mistakes cost lives, who created this video. The video that you just watched is like, I guess, an AI rip-off of, even if they don't know that that's what it is. But check this out. This is real. This one isn't AI. It was made a few years ago now.
So to get your whole...
Action Man Battlefield Casualties. For PTSD Action Man, danger lurks at every turn.
Who's that?
He never feels safe, not even in his own home. Do what you can to block out the memories.
Look, look, look!
With no support from HQ, it's up to you to find a way.
Looks like we're on our own.
PTSD Action Man now comes with 1,000 yard stare action. With time running out, only you can stop the pair.
Let's get out of here.
So Darren's work is very anti-army, anti-military. So he's raising some points here, but using sort of crass humour as a way of doing it.
Here comes Paralyzed Action Man. Legs really don't work. His spine shattered by an enemy IED. Action Man is crippled by constant pain. With his bowels out of action, only a colostomy bag can save him from disaster.
Reloading.
But despite his injuries, there can be no rest.
That's work for me.
Pedropoulos says it sounds a bit like Matt Berry. It is Matt Berry. He got Matt Berry to do the voice. So maximum respect, Darren, who went to the art school that I went to and taught at. So Darren's work, Spelling Mistakes Cost Lives. He made that for Veterans for Peace, but you can check out all his work at spellingmistakescostlives.com. But well done in spotting. Darren's work was featured in the training data for Midjourney against his will. So he's one of the few artists that I know that directly I can rip off for £20 a month if I want to. It's cool, isn't it? That's cool. But maximum respect. And if you want to support him, he's got loads of cool stuff for sale. So if you go to Spelling Mistakes Cost Lives.com, there's some cool stuff. He created a dust jacket for the new J.K. Rowling Robert Galbraith book, The Toilet Constable, where the toilets are being manned. You can download that as a PDF if you want to, and you can print that out if you want to, and then you can go into bookshops if you want to, and put that over the covers of things in a bookshop. If you want to do that, it's entirely up to yourself. But that's kind of cool. Free PDF on the website right there. You can do that. Apartheid Apartments. This project about, again, is a satirical take on contemporary stuff. I'll let you browse through it yourself. Really strong visual, just imagery. Hostile architecture. Birdhouse I made from Shangri-La, Glastonbury. So Darren was featured in Banksy's Dismal Land as well. He did a pop-up shop for payday loans for children. You'll have seen his stuff all about. And you can go in his shop. Let's go to the shop. You'll have recognised this. Everybody's got this mug, the Not Piss mug. In the style of Sports Direct. He also has got a sticker if you're in London. If you're in London, he's got a sticker that you can put over your Oyster card to make it look like a fake Oyster card. Check it out. Here we go. It's a £5. It's a sticker you put over your Oyster card so it looks fraudulent. He's got the Tony Blair Christmas cards. If you want, I think I might buy some of them. Much for 10k. That's good gear. So check him out. Never forget 9/11 memo pad. Really good for fun gifts for interesting people. Check him out. He's a good guy. I like him. I like the work as well. So there is a Sora version of a facsimile of a satirical ad. So in the Sora version, they're obviously talking about a playset for Epstein Island. And Darren's work, he's talking about, a satirical take on like Action Man, because Action Man is a military character that's aimed towards children, which is a wee bit distasteful if you think about it. And he's using that as a lens in which to look through the way that people who've been in the military are cared for or not cared for as it happens after their service. So there you go. So it's quite interesting that you can just kinda do that sort of work now for free, basically. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it? Not sure if you saw this thread, says Hammy, but Nintendo's infamously litigious. Yes. Conceivably, Nintendo could win OpenAI in 12 months, as this is clear and ambiguously copyright. Let's have a wee look. I saw a Super Mario thing. Sora 2 is great, but can it play Doom? Well, yes, apparently it can. Here's a thread with 10 games generated by OpenAI's Sora 2. So again, this video as a tool, this video generator is amazing.
One down.
So this looks like Doom, but it isn't Doom.
Got him. Revenant next.
This is an
Heading for
AI
the exit.
video synthesis,
One down. Rocket.
which looks exactly like Doom. Rob Why, how you doing? Welcome in, Rob Why. Thanks very much for subbing. Back again after buying a house and getting a few promotions. Been busy as fuck, so sorry I let the sub lapse, but super glad to be back. Is Rachel still selling the no sexist? Yes. So I think that button that I just pressed there, no, that button that I just pressed there doesn't take you to it. Rachel has sold, actually, in the past day or so, she's sold more no racist, no sexist posters than she's sold in the past year. So some influencer somewhere has posted it, some influencer down south. So right now would be a good time to purchase it, because she's running out of stock, by the way. So here is the link in chat. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Rachel, who was on stream earlier today, made this poster, which is a pastiche of the No Blacks, No Dogs, No Irish sign that was put up around the UK after World War II. Rachel, again, a satirical take on propaganda, but in her version, she makes the people spewing hate be the folk that are unwelcome. I'm remembering, like, someday some man on the internet took issue at the no fascists and claimed that having a sign that says no fascist was in itself fascist. Shut up. Shut up is what I say to that. So I feel free to buy this. I don't make any money off it, but I think it's a very, very good project, and £5 of every sale goes to Glasgow refugee charity Refuigi, and they're good people. Rob Why, thanks very much for subbing. Welcome in, how you doing? It's racist against fascists? Aye, 100%. Sacinda, thanks very much for your Prime sub. Sacinda, how you doing? Thank you very much for your Amazon Prime sub. Maximum respect. How's it going? Love it. Love it. But Rob Why, sounds like you've got your life all sorted. Rob Why, you've not missed much other than, right, Fred the dog. We had to put Fred to sleep. So you've missed all of that. But it's maybe good that you've missed it, because it was horrible. How you doing, young Barry? Welcome in. How's it going? I just saw Mulder. I just saw Simpsons Mulder. But let me know if you can buy the poster or whatever. I did have a button set up to advertise Rachel's poster, but it looks as if it stopped working. And I don't know why that is. I simply don't know why that is. But I'll have a wee look at it. So, what we're going to do, I want to watch an episode of Tomorrow's World from 1981, if that's alright. But first, we are looking at this poster sale worked. Did the thing come up? I put a ton of links, but just manually. But it was supposed to show you a thing and it didn't. Wishing my life was together, just no longer giving some random Tory my money and giving it directly to a bank instead. All the very best, man. Everything's just hard now, isn't it? Everything's absolutely brutal. But it sounds like some good stuff has been happening anyway. So this here is completely generated in a new AI video synthesis, and Nintendo like to sue the pants off of everybody. So there's no way that this could have been generated as accurately as it has been unless Nintendo video games were used as training data. But I mean, lots of people could sue them for this, couldn't they? But like, even the score is incrementing correctly and stuff like that. The physics, I mean, if you pause it, it looks a bit minging. But I don't know. I suppose their argument would be, well, it's just a tool. So if you type in Super Mario into the tool, it'll make Super Mario. But that's kind of like if you go to the shop and you buy a pencil and a sketch pad, you can use those tools to create your own stuff, or you can use those tools to draw Super Mario. And if you use those tools to draw Super Mario, then that is an infringement of copyright. So by default, it doesn't. But somebody was showing me a Red Dead Redemption version of this. But look at this. It's got, like, you've got all the games, and it's very, very accurately, it's got all, like, the wee icons in the right bit. Somebody showed a Red Dead Redemption gaming clip, and, like, that's Minecraft.
Zombie, there we go, easy. More.
And listen to the voice in the background. So it's like a live streamer playing Minecraft, and you can hear a live streamer saying the stuff. The audio is generated as well. Check this.
All right, there's some iron right here. Let's grab it. Got it. Oh, I hear a zombie. There we go. Easy. More iron and some copper up ahead. This cave is gorgeous. All right, there's some iron right.
It's interesting, isn't it? We're doomed, man. Here's Silent Hill.
Wet thud, creature squeals and stay down. Oh, alright, still on Neely Street. Can't see a thing out here. Stat.
The person you're listening to doesn't exist. That video game has never been played like that. Everything has just been generated from thin air. Because that's what we can do in the world just now. Here is not Super Mario. And that piece of video, it's not perfect, right? But it was just generated, probably, by somebody in bed on their phone like that. Super Mario video clip. And you send it away, and it heats up a small part of the world somewhere far away, and then a couple of minutes later you get a video clip back of exactly what you asked for. It's fucking mad, isn't it? How did we get here? In the immortal words of Zaffer Cakes, what have we become? Am I right? What have we become? Anyway, don't worry about all of that sort of stuff, because let's just watch an episode of Tomorrow's World instead. Will we do that? I can't give a duck. Did you get your link? Aye, I think Hammy gave you the link there. Plodder says, my mum, as a Secretary of Labour branch, got an actual Tony Blair Christmas card 20 odd years ago that looked exactly like that. That's dynamite. I'm glad Darren's replicating them. Tony Blair's back, isn't he? Have you seen this? Because, you know how the whole digital ID card that they want to make happen in the UK, we're having like a pure China-style ID card. I don't even think they've got them in China. And Tony Blair, who disappeared for ages, but somehow he returned, just like Palpatine. He's invested in it, right? But not just, you know, his opinion. He's actually financially invested in it, because if you look at the ID card, the company that's been awarded the tender for this is Tony Blair's son. And Blair himself has financially invested hundreds of millions of pounds. So we've got like America-level political corruption, and people who are already wealthy enough, man, are financially profiting off of the erosion of our privacy. So that's cool, to the tune of hundreds of millions of pounds. So that's cool, isn't it? That's just something different. So we need to just put up with that. Just deal with that. Eh? Hello Meatballs, how you doing? Oh good, gaming markets are going to get filled with a slop 10 times worse than current shovelware. I wonder if, as a society, the pendulum will just swing the other way. That there will be an appetite for authentic stuff somehow. That people will reject the slop. Or I wonder if just slop will actually get good to the point that it's entertaining. Imagine that. Imagine all this slop got tuned into everything that you genuinely like. So instead of just exploiting the parts of your brain that want you to keep giving it attention, right, which is what it's good at just now, imagine it actually delivered you stuff that was nourishing and had value and stuff. Like, that would be cool, but it isn't doing that though. It's just chucking you fucking sausages. Will we watch Look Around You? Not Look Around You, Tomorrow's World. I think we'll watch a wee episode of Tomorrow's World. Hello, young Barry, how you doing? All good, just getting cosy, ready to chill out with the stream. Right, listen, we'll get a chill outness on the go, because I got all my jimmies all rustled there, because I was thinking about AI stuff and all of that. But we will just be like, right, all of that, right? There you go. Right. There we are. Hello Tiger Tam, how you doing? Welcome in. I wonder if it generates the genuine Minecraft streamer DMs to kids. All that'll be automated this time next year. YouTube algorithm will pump this out and my kids will watch it mindlessly where lost. I don't know. I wonder if people can detect it, because see, if you do pay attention to it for more than 15 seconds, you realise, like, alright, they aren't really working towards something. It's just like, it's just flashing lights, man. There's a star in Super Mario 64 that's exactly like that. AI is causing a nightmare in the welfare rights world. Google especially creating bullshit advice that claimants are blindly following and getting themselves in a world of trouble with Department of Work and Pensions. That's good, innit? Fucking hell. Tony Blair looks more like an evil goblin every day. He looks sinister, man. It looks like a haunted carcass of, some sort of like, remember Tales from the Crypt? It looks like that guy. Usually I don't care what people look like, right? But Tony Blair's a particular type of bastard, and so if he also happens to look like that, I'm going to mention it. No offence if you look like Tony Blair, it's what's in your heart that counts. Unfortunately, that guy's heart is like all calcified. Anyway, this episode of Tomorrow's World's a real downer. Will we get it on? We'll get it on. Hello Avgas, how you doing? Welcome in. China's social credit system has also been mildly misrepresented. I've heard that as well. But then, I don't know if that sentiment is Chinese propaganda. I don't know anything about China, so I probably shouldn't talk about it. I think the Ewan Blair digital ID is fake news. Really, Scooby Club? Really? Have I just parroted some fake news that I read? I mean, I hope that's true. Getting all my jimmies all rustled over fake news. So what I maybe just said about Tony Blair's maybe fake news according to Scooby Club. But I don't know. Imagine I cited, like I was putting forward a really serious case. And I cited, this person I know called Scooby Club told me, who the fuck knows about anything anymore, man? Am I real? I think I'm real. Deary me. The blatant AI scam ads on YouTube are a serious problem. Yep, it's just slop everywhere. I'll try and maintain the human touch in our output as long as I can. AI gen only to be used in pre-production and as a tool by a human. I mean, it's unavoidable. Like, there's certain things where AI stuff is wonderful, like the world of coding, right? Coding tends to be an environment where people share resources, right? Open source movement, all of that sort of stuff. You never really had a comparable phenomena in the world of people making visual art or whatever, because usually their practice is their intellectual property, which is unique to them and therefore allows them to survive as an artist. Whereas a coder was less like that, so it was more like all the nuts and bolts were more or less the same, but it's the order that you put them in can make your thing and your project, you know. I don't know, man. It's just accelerating at a level that I can't foresee where it's going. Anyway, I hope it's a a big bit of it is a bubble, and I hope we get to keep the good bits. Anyway, do you know, hey, you will know, did Tomorrow's World do a thing on spontaneous combustion? What was all that about in the 80s? Dwayne Dibley, I don't know if Tomorrow's World did a thing on spontaneous combustion. I don't think they would, because it's more of a phenomenon than technology. They tend to cover technology. However, I know all about spontaneous human combustion. So I won't show you any images, but do you mind if I don't put Tomorrow's World on for the next 10 minutes and talk about spontaneous human combustion instead? Because I've got all the answers for that. One of my autistic special interests is the world of pseudoscience, right? And I know all about spontaneous human combustion. I know all about it, and I've got all the answers. So, in the 1980s, there was a phenomenon, a scary phenomenon, that was reported round about the same time that people were worried about quicksand. Do you remember as a child? That was like a genuine threat, man. Quicksand. Don't get caught in quicksand, right? At the same time, there were warnings about spontaneous human combustion. You could read about it in like books that would tell you about ghosts and stuff like that. But then, right, you would see it like in the news and stuff like that. You would see, oh, this person died, and here is like a crime photo, a police photo of like the remains of this person. You would see like a leg, and you'd see like a bit of a skirt or something, but then the rest of it, you'd be like, fucking hell. It was like a real X-Files thing, and it was real. People really had died from this. And there's multiple photos of it, very well documented. People who had somehow caught on fire, their body had burned mostly to a point where it hadn't affected anything else in the room, and they had just sat there, and their body would be found. What the fuck is that about? Oh my goodness me. Tuna Bistro, thank you very much for 500 bits. Hi James, you've been an inspiration and a role model to me. As a mid-20s Czech guy for the last few years, your creativity has inspired many of my projects. For example, a state-funded AI course for language teachers in my country that I put together that is now setting off. And your moral approach to different topics have been eye-opening. Thank you, Jim. You're a sound guy. Also, I might have had like 7 beers at a pub tonight, so sorry if this is out of line. Very much in line. Tuna Bistro, that's really cool to listen to hear, because thank you very much for letting me know about that. And check this guy out. That's good work, Carnivore. That's good work. That's really cool. Sometimes when I come on here, I don't really know if it's, you know what I mean? Everybody has fluctuations of confidence and things. And when I read something like that, it reaffirms stuff. So thank you for letting me know, and thanks very much for the 500 bits. And it sounds like your projects are really cool, man. Tuna Bistro, all the very best. And drink some water before you go to bed. Otherwise, you might have a headache in the morning. So make sure you drink at least 2 pints of water before bed. Can you promise me that? Hello, Conno Gems. Welcome in. I remember the exact image of the leg in 14 times in the 90s. I don't think, I mean, the leg is so old. If I type in spontaneous human combustion. Anonymous gifter, thanks for gifting us up to Tuna Bistro. Thank you very much. So that was 2 bubble blasts there. The first one was for the anonymous gifter, and the second one was for Tuna Bistro. That is apparently how it works on my system. So Google image, that's actually quite a nasty image. I don't think I should show that image of spontaneous human combustion. Black and white, horrible, real photos of a dead person. I don't think I will show you them on stream. I don't think it's stream ability. However, right, what I have learned is, here is like a more abstracted version, right? But there's, if you go to Google Images and you type in spontaneous human combustion, here is like a book on it, and it's usually got this this sort of art style. Anyway. Hey, Kader, how you doing, man? Welcome in. Hello, everybody. How you doing? I'm 1030. I go by he, him. Welcome in. What's even happening, everybody? What a wonderful thing to get a raid off of Kader. It wasn't the address, Shaggis. It was just the postcode came up, but that was the wrong postcode. I spotted that, but thanks very much for spotting it. It's lesser extent Kader. Has everybody saw this on Twitter? Somebody is asking who Kader is. Mad Mental Kader. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Listen, if you have just joined us, not only am I going to tell you the true answer of spontaneous human combustion, because I know all about it because it's one of my autistic special interests, right? But see, immediately after I tell you all about spontaneous human combustion, I am going to watch an old episode. I'm going to watch an old episode from 1981 of Tomorrow's World. So we're going to watch yesterday's Tomorrow's World today. If that sounds good, do you think you would be into that? I think you would be into that. Lucy Kelly, thanks very much for gifting us up to Kader. What a wonderful time we're in, everybody. So, if you're just in, we were talking about the phenomenon of spontaneous human combustion, which is a real thing. If you type into Google Images, you will see photos of people who have died because spontaneously their body, and only their body, has caught on fire and burnt to a point where there's really not much left. Occasionally you will get like a leg or whatever. It's nasty stuff, man. And the photos themselves are all like grimy, black and white, like real horror stuff. And this was a big thing in the 80s. And it's horrible, man. And in the 80s as well, you had cunts like Uri Geller. 1, 2, 3, work. 1, 2, 3. Telling you all this nonsense about UFOs and bending metal and stuff like that. You had the Satanic Panic in the 80s. Different things that would lead people into like supernatural explanations for mystery phenomena, right? And I really like real explanations for phenomena. I am a skeptic, right? And a skeptic's different from a cynic. I've got knowledge of magic and a wee bit of sort of Derren Brown stuff here and there. And one of my special interests is how people can fool themselves and fool each other. So, for example, did you know, and I will get to spontaneous human combustion in a wee bit, here's what I reckon mermaids are, right? Imagine you're a sailor a couple hundred years ago, or whenever mermaids were reported, and you fall overboard, and you're helped to the top by, like, women with fish feet or something. You're like, what? And you eventually get back on your ship. You're like, there's a thing down there, and I'm going to invent a word for it. It's called a mermaid. And then before we know it, that is a thing and people are drawing photos of it and stuff. I reckon, right, instead of it being a cryptid, is Mike knows about cryptids. I reckon it's just a beluga whale. Look at that. And it's one sexy ass whale, isn't it? So that there is a beluga whale. And I reckon if you're a sailor and it's dark and you're submerged, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe you've had a bump to the head. Maybe you've been at sea for 4 years and haven't saw an actual woman, so you don't really have a frame of reference for it. I reckon that's what mermaids are. Right? I reckon that's what mermaids are. Probably. I reckon that's more probable than there actually really being mermaids. What about... I don't know if I'll be able to find this, right? And I'm getting to spontaneous human combustion. What about... hold on, wait till I find this. What about aliens, right? What about now these like the grey aliens that everybody's seen, right? People report in America, right, they tend to report similar sightings of wee guys, aliens, who've got big eyes. They will land on their roof, or they will cut about or whatever. Where the fuck are aliens, man? Baby barn owls. I think they're actually probably baby barn owls. Check this creepy video out. Imagine being half cut in the 1950s, right? Before camera phones existed. And you hear some noises, some scrapings on your roof. And you've got some Miller lights in you. Check this out. Look at these creepy wee bastards. Fucking staring at you. What? What? So there's more videos of that sort of stuff. So, right, is it more probable that interplanetary beings travelled here and then landed safely and then just come out to like stare at just civilians? Or is it possible that folk have misinterpreted baby barn owls who maybe have been knocked out of their nest or found themselves stranded somewhere or something like that? And then when people have cross-referenced reports and folk have drawn images, that image then becomes an explanation. So humans are really bad at saying, I don't know. Have you noticed that? Humans are terrible psychologically for putting a question mark over something. We will always have to, right or wrong, develop an answer for the unexplained. Magicians know this. Because if I was to do a magician trick, right, and I don't explain what's happening, if I just show you something impossible, then the viewer will be like, ah, right, well, what happened there? And they will go back and they might figure it out, right? But if I show you a magician trick and I put a fake explanation in it, that I was struck by lightning and I was able to do this thing, or God gave me the ability, or whatever, that I've learned hypnosis and I can influence you or whatever. If I put a fake explanation onto a trick, then people stop looking for the actual true answer. So I know about this, right, from being a magician. Speaking of magic tricks, Cudder, are you still in? Cudder, I know you've just ended your stream, so you might be like going to do actual real world stuff. But let me know if you're still in, and I would like to reward a lovely raid. Hey-oh, Cudder, I've just made a prediction, mate. Right? This deck of cards will not go out of frame until I reveal the prediction. Just to confirm, we haven't set anything up. We do know each other a fair bit off stream and stuff like that, but we've not set anything up here. I hope you get this right, and now it's time for the fake explanation. What I'm going to do, stare into the stream, stare into my eyes. I'm going to psychically send you, Cudder. I know roughly where you are geographically. Oh, fucking hell, like that. What I will say is, it's not the Ace of Spades, right? Content warning, demon magic incoming. It's not the Ace of Spades, right? What card is flipped upside down in this deck? I hope you get it right, Cudder. See if it's not the right card, it's your fault for not getting it right. The cards will not go out of shot. Four of Diamonds. What makes you say the Four of Diamonds? Is that your favourite card? Look, check this shit out, man. Check this out. There is one card, and one card only, upside down in the deck. Boom shakalaka, motherfucker! What? Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very, very much for the raid. What a guy is that, Cudder. So, right, that proves my point. I know about ways that we can fool each other and ways in which we can fool ourselves. So, when we've got a phenomenon like spontaneous human combustion, like aliens, like mermaids or whatever, as soon as somebody comes up with an answer, and then people see that answer, they then stop looking for the real answer because it sort of satisfies them, even if the answer they came up with is false. So there, see when I was doing this, sending you the card, I wasn't actually sending you the card. That profile pic, oh shit, so it has. I'm very sorry, Lucy Kelly. Let's just do this for the time being. I'm sorry that profile picture was there. It shouldn't have been there for so long. What's spontaneous human combustion? Sorry about that. It should have went away after like 10 seconds or something. I really sorry about that. Spontaneous human combustion is this, right? Because usually, like with magic tricks, right? See if you find out how something's done, you can quickly go, oh, that's a bit rubbish. All right. Really? All right. But see if you don't know how something's done, it can eat away at you for years. Religions can be started from the unexplained, right? So what spontaneous human combustion is this. Just turn you off. Sorry for the visual of turning you off. Right, we should have a new profile picture now, fingers crossed. The old one will still be up for a couple of seconds, then the new one will come. There we go, Devon Inc., how you doing? Devon Inc., maximum respect, thank you very, very much for another bloody raid. Yes, man. Yes. Devon Inc., welcome in, how you doing? Devon Inc. people, I'm 1030, I go by he, him, and I sound as fuck. So listen, see if you're not already following me, please follow me. Devon Inc., have you got like 2 minutes time? I know you've just finished your stream. But what I'm going to do here, before I explain what spontaneous human combustion is, I've just explained the mystery of aliens, right? I've just explained the mystery of mermaids, right? But before I explain the reasoning of what I think spontaneous human combustion is, after that we're going to watch an episode of Tomorrow's World for 1981, right? But check this out, man. Devon Inc., I have made a prediction. Let me see, hold on, let me see. I don't know if you will go for this one. These cards will not go out of frame until I reveal what the prediction is. I know, Big Taff Man, I know, but it's such a good trick. Devon Inc., look at my eyes. I'm going to send you the card, right? And I hope you get it right, because if it's not the card, it's your fault for not getting it right, okay? It's not the Ace of Spades. It's not the Ace of Spades, because that's like a common one, right? But don't let me influence you otherwise. Devon Inc., I don't know if you picked up on that, but there was one card that I was sending you psychically. Did you get it? I hope you got it right. Just waiting in chat. Hello, Isa, Sia. How you doing? So this is a magic trick. It's a magic trick. It's not psychic, right? That I'm going to hopefully put on. You have one in mind? Okay, could you declare in chat what cards? Just so that I can't change my mind. Just so that when I show you the real card, that you don't just play along and say, oh, aye, that was it. 10 of clubs. What makes you say the 10 of clubs? Look, check this out. There is one card, and one card only. It happens to be the one on top of the deck, but there is one card and one card only that is upside down. And it's this card here. I should have cut them a wee bit. Bang! What? What? Devon Inc., thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. If you're not already, I think that deserves a follow. Thank you. Lors Bobbins is like, follow. Thank you very much. Fucking tell us how. I will. Look at all these follows. Like, this guy knows things. I'll tell you all about mermaids. Easy peasy. Tell you all about aliens. I'll do psychic tricks. International psychic tricks. I just did that to Cudder. Cudder's one of these exotic international people. So, like, it doesn't matter. Just like Uri Geller used to send thoughts across continents and stuff like that, right? It's basically, we just did that. Devon Inks for down there. I just sent fly kick stuff down there. Amazing. Quite soon, this will be on my merch shop. So this is a trick, right? Magic doesn't exist. And I'm not going to tell you how it's done, but if you would like to do that, I've got 2 handlings of it. I've got a version that you can do on stream, and then I've got a version that you can do like on stage or down the pub or whatever to real people. The one that you do on stream for any streamers that are in is a wee bit easier to do. The other one isn't difficult. I learned it when I was about 11 years old, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's one of my most favourite magic tricks. So I've bought all the materials to make 24 of these, so it'll be a limited number, and it'll cost about 20 quid. In exchange for 20 quid, you will get a deck of cards delivered to your door that have been modified in just the right way to do a magic trick, and you will also get a video tutorial with me explaining all the ins and outs of how it works and stuff. So it's not witchcraft, it's nothing like that. Stop spoiling 1030. No. Because I'm not a magician. I'm just into the phenomena, the supernatural. So Big Taffman, I've given Big Taffman the tools that he needs to do exactly that as well. So you might see it on Big Taffman stream. What I haven't given you, Big Taffman, is my personal instruction, because I've learned things that make it easier, or I've got my own handling that I've developed since I was a teenager. So as soon as I've recorded the video, Taffman, I'll send it to you. But you've got the physical stuff that you need for that to happen. Don't teach Taff things, he'll make it awkward. Nah, Taff would never make anything awkward. I don't believe you. Welcome in, Imagine Refriend, how you doing? It's always magnets. Shut up. It's not magnets. I know I saw Fred, who had to say goodbye to Fred last week, unfortunately. So what the fuck is spontaneous human combustion then, right? So just like I'm saying with mermaids or aliens or psychic phenomenon or whatever, see if you don't know what it is, your mind can race and you can lose sleep over it. Religions and cults can start. You can get into heated debates online. You can extrapolate, like, well, if this phenomenon exists, then maybe that and maybe that. And you can whip yourself up into a frenzy of bad thinking and magical thinking. But it feels good, man, because it feels like maybe the world is a bit bigger than what we think. And maybe our tools of science is inadequate to explain the richer mysteries of the universe. And how wonderful would it be if there was a whole field of study out there that we don't know about? How cool would that be? Because then we would find out all this other stuff. And then maybe there is more to the world than just going to work and watching Sky Sports and eating egg and chips. How wonderful would it be if these things existed? And it would be, but unfortunately with spontaneous human combustion, it's kind of a boring explanation, which is this. If you look at all the people who were spontaneously human combusted, right, they've all got some things in common, right? Egg and chips is good. Terrible client I do of these Pillsman Power Eckies. I didn't take any today. I just get really excited when I'm talking about my autistic special interests, and this happens to be one of them. Also, every time I do this magic trick, I get a wee bit nervous. And that, I suppose, is channeling into enthusiasm. Because I really like doing that trick. It's one of my most favourite tricks of all time. Anyway, spontaneous human combustion, if you look at people who get combusted, all of them without fail have got a similar set of attributes, which is these things. They all tend to be fairly overweight, and they all tend to be smokers, and they all tend to be either alcoholics or not very mobile or in poor health. And this is a wee bit grim, but from any sort of skeptical analysis of this sort of stuff, what tends to happen, the human candle, that's it. That's exactly it. What tends to happen is the people will be smoking a cigarette and will fall asleep or fall unconscious somehow, whether that be from health reasons or booze or whatever else. The cigarette will start a small fire on their clothes, and that fire will just burn away just on their clothes, but doesn't really get any bigger than that. But what keeps the fire going, and this is what gets a wee bit grim, is they often have quite a large layer of fat under their skin, and the fat ends up acting as fuel for a candle. And again, I told you this was grim. And what ends up happening is they all just burn away, and that fat is used as fuel. And then when all that fuel eventually gets burnt and used up, the fire goes out. The human wick effect, 100%. That's exactly it. So, there you go. I took all that energy. I raised you up here as talking about aliens and all that sort of stuff. Bang, fuck you. Remember death? Who here remembers death? We'll get tomorrow's world done. Eh? So, what I like to do, see on the internet's a horrible place usually, right? But I'm in charge of this tiny wee part of the internet, and I like to just share interesting stuff. And one of the things I like to do is look at old episodes of Tomorrow's World. And is this going to load? No. I want to watch an episode of Tomorrow's World from, let's just skip through and make sure we haven't saw this one yet. Jesus Christ, it looks grim. Oh, this looks really grim. This is brilliant. Let's watch an episode of Tomorrow's World from 1981, shall we? We shall. Without further ado, let's take it away.
Good evening.
Why did it start on his crotch? And why is there meat there? Oh, this is going to be good, innit, man? Let's just see that again. What a fucking... You don't start TV shows like that anymore, do you?
Good evening.
Oh, I love this show, man. Oh, I love it.
And now, for the first time on British television, the scientific way to cook the Sunday joint. In this case, a nice top side of beef. Now...
Sorry about just showing grim beef. Sorry, but it is what it is. It was the past, man. It was the past. You used to be able to do this on telly. You wouldn't be able to do that on telly anymore.
The first thing you're going to need is a large veterinary hypodermic syringe, which you use to jab the meat
Fuck
full
off.
of holes. And into each hole, you place a thermocouple to measure the temperature of the meat at various depths.
Have you seen those people on Reddit who have built their own... I don't know how to say it, right? I'm going to come off as an uncultured Brit, but I'm not. I'm Scottish, right? But those sous vinde? How is it you say it? But it's basically a steak that gets boiled, but in a bag, so it's not boiled steak. Sous vide, right? But what you need to do is cook it at just the right temperature, but for a long time. It's kind of like a very posh, very expensive version of boiling the bag. Very tender, a really high-end steak, right? But on Reddit, people have created just an Arduino, right, using hobby electronic stuff that you can buy off Amazon for like a tenner, right? that will detect the temperature of the water, and using PID will heat or not heat the water to keep it right within this Goldilocks perfect sweet spot to create the perfect steak. And in the process of doing this DIY technology, they have rendered professional tools that would usually cost like a ridiculous amount of money for just cooking this one type of dish. Now you don't need to buy all the professional tools, you can just make it yourself at home. And I believe that's using thermocouples as well. So I wonder if he's going to talk about something like that. That's interesting. Or if he's just going to talk about ensuring that your meat is piping hot throughout in order to avoid parasites and stuff. Wouldn't be unlike Tomorrow's World to talk about parasites.
Well, it's going to take me a little while to do all that, but we've got a joint over here we prepared
I could be doing my joint over here.
earlier, and here it is. That's the meat. Now for the oven. First thing you do is drill a hole in the top. Over the hole,
I have a sous vide filter and it costs 30 quid. You can get one for 30 quid and just attach to a pot. Ah, right, fair enough. Ah, well. Well, guys on Reddit made one for free, basically. Please don't try this at home. Don't wire up your meat.
you put a strain gauge with a bit of wire dangling through the hole into the oven. And on the end, you guessed it, you hang your joint. Right, while that lot's cooking, you measure the temperature throughout the meat with your thermocouples and monitor any weight loss with the strain gauge over here.
What if, like, the plastic in the thermocouple leaches horrible toxins, or, like, the solder points on your electrical components melts a wee bit and then lead gets into your meat, man?
Well, actually, a computer next door does all that and displays the results over here. In practice...
That's good gear into it. Look at that. What is that? I recognise the shape of that monitor. It's a bit before my time. What is that? Somebody in chat will know. Meatballs or hammy or somebody will be like, oh aye, that's a microbit 2 or something.
Of course, you...
It's a pet, of course it is. Of course it is. Candlelight's in, there you go. Channel 13, there you go. Saul McDonagh. This is 1981.
don't have to do any of this. The Meat Research Institute here in the West Country has done it all for you. It's all part of a 2-year scientific study to try and find out what most housewives reckon they know already.
That's good, isn't it? Housewives. That's good. That's who cooks our steaks. Housewives. Can I just say maximum respect to the housewives for cooking our steaks? Thank you very much, housewives.
How to get the very best out of a joint that nowadays many of them can barely afford to buy. Let's see what happens at different...
It's a good oven interface. Look at that, man. I like knobs. That's good. Looks a bit like Euro-style typeface, innit? Get all of that, man. I love the insert shots in this.
Oven temperatures. First, the traditional roast in a hot oven at over 220 degrees centigrade, just under regular 7.
That's how I want to do my cooking, man, with like VDU readouts like that. Funkle Albert says, I like my beef free of wire, but let's be fair, that wasn't the worst thing in beef in the 80s. How long is CJD supposed to incubate for? Maybe this is what CJD, maybe this is how it started. Cunts hooking up electrical components inside their ovens. You never know.
Our thermocouples measure a temperature near the centre of the joint of 70 degrees centigrade. But the surface is frizzling away at 91.2, and as a result, the joint dehydrates.
Is that a thing? Meatball says he had to say regular 7 because Gasmark is a trademark. Is Gasmark a trademark? I didn't know that. So if somebody says, oh, put it in at Gasmark 5, that is a trademark? I did not know that. TIL. We used PET computers in my primary school. Probably the first time computers were in the classroom in Canada. That's pretty cool.
And the 1.5 kilograms of meat we bought from the butchers shrinks to under 1 kilogram. Now that's over £1 worth of meat lost just in the cooking process.
Nowadays that would be like about £400 worth of meat.
So how can you reduce that weight loss? Researchers here are cooking an identical joint in a very low oven, 160 degrees centigrade, that's regular 3. That may sound far too low, but our thermocouples show the centre of the joint is again cooking around 70 degrees centigrade. But now the surface temperature is only 6 degrees hotter. Compare that to the first joint, where it's 21 degrees hotter. As a result,
Right, your answer down now.
the strain gauge tells us there's nowhere near that loss of weight.
Aye, but in that one you have to have it in the oven for 3 hours, which is a full hour, 10 minutes longer than the first one. And gas isn't cheap these days. It might be in 1981, but gas nowadays, man, we're getting shafted because of Russia or something. I don't understand why.
Loss of weight. Right, let's get a slice off each and see what they look like. Actually, it would have been enough to cook both of these joints to 60 degrees centigrade and not 70.
So grim, isn't it? Look at just the colour grading. It's fucking horrible to look at.
The weight loss would have been even less then, but the inside would have been red, which is fine for the French, but not for us.
Oh, aye.
At 70 degrees, both these joints are going to be
Can I just apologise to any French housewives that are watching?
overdone, but that's how the British like it. OK, both joints look all right, but how does the toughness compare? To find out, they take identical-sized cubes from the centre of each joint and bite them in a special pair of jaws.
A lot of fucking about, wasn't there, in the 80s? Like, incredible though. I'm glad they did this.
And measure the force needed to make the teeth just touch. The results show they're just as tender. So what about flavour? Well, most butchers deliberately wrap their joints of beef in a layer of fat. And most people believe that fat improves the flavour of the joint. Well,
Did you hear the meat noise when he lifted that up? That would have to have been mic'd. Also, he's got a plaster on. That's visually annoying, isn't it? Why has he got a plaster on? Use the other hand if that hand has got a plaster with like visible blood spotting.
what they discovered here was that a joint of beef wrapped in fat loses more weight than one without. Another thing to remember too is that it costs the farmer 4 times as much in foodstuffs to produce fat on an animal than lean, so it had better improve the flavour.
What? The fuck is going on here, man? We need to watch that again. That was a bit uncalled for, wasn't it? I need to skip it back. I'm sorry, but I need to skip it back. Word of warning, I didn't know that was coming. A lot of people don't like mouth stuff, right? Dawn says, my daddy was a bite machine operator, and I'm a bite machine operator's son. 100%. They don't make shows like this anymore.
Here at the Meat Research Institute, they've
No, this isn't somebody's job, is it?
done hundreds of tests on flavour using that final arbiter, the taste panel. Scores of people like this eat first one sample, then the other, and write down their findings. So, when they compare the taste of meat with fat to meat cooked without fat, is there any difference?
No.
No difference.
No difference.
Just the same.
Just the same.
And there's not much difference between the low and the hot oven taste either, except that the low oven meat is more juicy. So, what they're actually saying here is that if you want the best value and taste from a joint of British beef, cook it without fat at Regulo 3. Just one problem, though. That's not hot enough for your Yorkshire pudding.
That was sensational. That's maybe the best package I've ever saw on Tomorrow's World. I think 1981 is going to be a good year, folks. I think 1981 is going to be the year for us. My God, there's a lot in that. Thanks for being in when I've been doing this. And right, we're only 7 minutes into an episode here. This is January 1981. We've got all the rest of the year to go, and I'm going to be streaming Tomorrow's World quite a lot during my evening streams for the foreseeable, if you're into that. Judith. So, Judith is in the studio. All the studio stuff is live. What we just saw is a package which has been pre-filmed, like on film. In the 80s, it was still film and it was good quality. Judith got her feet out. What's happening here? Is this going to be, am I going to have to skip this? Judith, what you up to?
Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin by telling you it's very unlikely, because most of you will now be sitting in chairs which can help to cause one of the most...
Does anybody know offhand if Judith Hand's feet from 1981 will get me banned on Twitch? I don't think it will. I think it'll be fine. They're not sexualised.
...expensive of illnesses, back pain. By relaxing with your spine bowed, like mine is at the moment, you could join the 1.5 million people in Britain with bad backs, who cost the country £1,000 million a year.
These bad backs costing our taxpayer millions of pounds. These bad-backed bastards.
In lost production to industry, plus those National Health Service bills. In trying to find an answer, we've seen masses of orthopaedic chairs. So it's hardly surprising that the latest idea, from Norway, suggests going back to square one. They want us
About a pun.
to learn to sit all over again.
Right.
Like this, on a forward-tilted seat with a cushion for your legs.
Is that like a Sibian, you call it? Don't Google that. Don't Google that.
So you neither sit nor stand. It feels a bit odd, rather like a saddle. But before you reject it out of hand, just look at the way children sit, quite naturally.
No.
They like leaning back on their heels, which keeps their spine
Fucking
straight,
hell.
their back muscles relaxed, and it doesn't cramp
Oh,
their
I'm
stomach.
so glad. I am so glad I used my intuition there and it paid off. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, fuck. I'm really glad you didn't have to see that. I need a wee minute. That could have been the end of me. That could have been it. That could have been it. Fucking hell. Let's go back to the show. Lengthy Beadle. 1981. 1981, everybody. My God, by the way.
This new range of improbable-looking chairs, which recreate for adults, like Fred here, the way young children sit. Doctors in Norway who've tested these chairs claim that because of the slanting seat, the pelvis is rolled.
Probably a real skeleton, would you think, 1981? Probably. Nah, I don't think it is.
Forwards, so that the vertebrae form a healthy S shape.
Pedropolis says, I need to know what we missed. 2 babies, both of them naked, one of them you could see full cock and balls.
Reducing the strain on both them and their related back muscles. Although the orthopaedic expert in Britain who's seen these chairs is sceptical for anyone over 50, because by that age your joints are just too stiff. But should the under 50s learn to sit in a completely new way if we're going to reduce back pain? Well, it did occur to us when we saw this new British version here that it looked a little familiar. It's got the same gently sloping seat as the Norwegian chairs, and your legs tuck away underneath in a similar way. But you may have a feeling that you've seen it somewhere before, and you have. We discovered this in the British Museum, popular in the Congo as long ago as the early 19th century. So, sitting like this isn't exactly new. Obviously, fashions in how to sit go in 200-year cycles. Whether that also applies to reducing back pain, we'll just have to wait and see.
Come this April, electricity will be costing 5 times more than it did 10 years ago. And yet, back in the late 50s, scientists believed they'd come up...
Where do you think his hairline is? Do you think it's just normal and that was the style? Or do you think he's trying to, like, hide it with this sort of... Anyway.
...with a plentiful source of electrical energy.
Because of heavy electricity, 100%.
Headlines for Harwell. Another spectacular triumph in nuclear research. This is Zeta, Z-E-T-A. Make special note of those initials, for they spell a British scientific achievement without parallel for the benefit of mankind. Experiments have suggested that the deadly power of the hydrogen bomb can be harnessed. For temperatures of 5 million degrees centigrade have been measured. So the Harwell team can reproduce the boundless energy of the solar system, a man-made sun with all its human benefits, an endless supply of light, heat and power.
The year was 19...
Very para, because they've set a precedent where it's fine to broadcast naked children. So anytime I see anything like that, I'm just like, oh no.
1958, and not a great deal has been heard of Zeta since, because frankly, it didn't work as well as we'd hoped. Zeta was a nuclear experiment aimed at getting atoms to release energy not by fission, by splitting, as in today's nuclear...
Good work, Von Clauber, that's great.
...power stations, but by colliding and fusing inside a donut-shaped vessel called a torus. Now, scientists haven't given up. 22 years after Zeta, a team is still working on the same principle, this time at Culham, using a Russian design and the best resources of Western Europe.
When are we going to get fusion power? Because it sounds great, man. Let's just have fusion power.
Because if it could be made to work, a fusion reactor offers two big advantages over the traditional fission design. The potential dangers of radioactivity are considerably less, and the bulk of its fuel is readily available. Here at Culham, we have an example of European cooperation in a technology that's still sufficiently in its infancy to have avoided many of the problems of world politics. Indeed, the Russian
There's a man you can set your watch to. Look at that guy, man. That's a workie.
Concept which the designers here have adopted has also been taken on board by the Japanese and by the Americans. And it's not difficult to understand the international interest in this technology. A 2-gigawatt power station using the fusion system which will be tested here will in one day consume 2 kilograms of a trace element called lithium and several thousand buckets of nothing more than seawater.
What became of this?
Whilst in the same time, a conventional coal-burning power station like the one 2 or 3 fields from here at Didcot would consume...
Didcot? I've heard of Didcot Power Station.
18,000 tons of coal.
Excellent.
When it's completed, this will be the centre of the torus, a donut-shaped...
I know what shape a torus is. We've just learned it in the previous link to this package.
Totally contained reactor vessel in which scientists will be able to recreate the conditions very much as they are right now on the Sun. Though because the torus will be a good deal smaller than that heavenly body, the temperatures down here will have to be a good deal higher. Something in the region of 100 million degrees centigrade, right where I'm standing now. This enormous temperature will set up reactions which will produce heat. The heat...
Yes, I really like the fashion. See the pattern on their ties, all of that sort of stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. They decommissioned Didcot recently, so this was working and it was all good. James Cameron bought it.
In turn will be passed on to help generate electricity. But this first torus will be used simply to investigate the problems of creating and sustaining such high temperatures. Fusion
graphics
reactions only happen in what's called a plasma, a gas that is so hot that the atoms are separated into negative electrons and positively charged nuclei. Now, these nuclei repel each other. But to produce energy, they need to collide and fuse together. That's why the plasma has to be so hot, to get those particles moving fast enough to overcome their natural electrical repulsion. They have to be at a temperature of about 100 million degrees. All very well in principle, but how on earth do you contain a gas that is some 10 times hotter than the centre of the Sun? Well, the electrical charge of those particles may make them repel each other, but it also means they're subject to this force. Magnetism.
How do magnets work, man? Nobody knows. You seen that video with Richard Feynman? Somebody's like, aye, but how do magnets work? The guy went mental. Never seen Feynman so angry. Doesn't he know? He doesn't know.
Here in the studio, we've generated a plasma. It's contained in this glass vessel, and surrounding it are 2 electromagnets. what we're going to demonstrate by lowering the light so that you can see the gas glowing inside the containment vessel.
I think God did it is the answer for magnets. Okay, so Funkle Albert is in saying the fusion aspect of Didcot Power Station was a dud. The coal worked. Right, aye. I was going to say, I don't think we've got fusion power. But there you go. It's a paintball arena now. Brilliant. Looks like a good spot to film music videos as well. Mayball says the next generation of this become the ITER ITER project, which just finished building large-scale test reactor. The generation after that, Demo DEMO, should be the first to put out notably more energy than they put in. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Where are we? James Cameron did apparently film part of The Abyss in a reactor. I remember that. Nobody knows what wind is either. Wind's made up. Wind doesn't exist, man. Is Richard Feynman a member of the Insane Clown Posse? Yes, he is.
Is the effect of the magnetic field produced by the electromagnets on that gas. There's the plasma, on goes the field, and immediately the plasma is contained. It's pinched, it's squeezed into a particular shape by the magnetic field. Of course, the plasma is still managing to leak out at each end of this demonstration unit, so to lose the leaky ends, they've made the plasma vessel circular, a ring-shaped torus.
What, like a donut?
Here the blue plasma is contained by white magnetic field lines. And this is where Zeta went wrong. Its plasma was unstable. It developed...
You can hear it went wrong. Did you hear that? Because it was like... Then they showed it wrong and it was like... You can tell. You can tell by the sound.
Kinks and bulges, dispersing all the precious energy needed to start fusion.
I'd have been able to spot that at the time. I'd have been like, that sounds wrong. See, it doesn't look like a donut either. Maybe have we look at that?
To overcome that problem, the Russian design uses a...
Do you hear it? Do you hear it back up to the correct one now?
More powerful magnetic field around the plasma itself, forcing it back towards the centre. And that is why the scientists hope JET, as it's now called...
I wonder if, like, the sound effects there were the radiophonic workshop. Was that bad noises on the stream? Did that mess up your headphone wearers? It wasn't that bad here.
Will work, but it is a complicated technology. And even if it does work, we won't be using fusion electricity for a long time. Indeed, it's as well to remember that it took the 10 European countries paying for the project 2 years simply to decide where to build it. Not that that debate is having any effect on what's happening here at Culham.
Turn it down, right?
This site is bang on schedule for a 1983 startup. Though it's likely to be the turn of the century before anybody sees any electricity generated using the fusion process.
What a babe.
Apart from its low running costs, this system offers other beguiling possibilities. Although this whole area will one day be radioactive, the system itself produces no radioactive waste fuel. Because the plasmas and the high temperatures are so difficult to sustain, should anything ever go wrong here, the system will shut itself down automatically. In fact, there are people working on the JET project who believe that if they can make this system operate, the world will have at its disposal nuclear technology with considerably less impact on the environment than the system we're being forced to use at the moment.
Didn't it work though? It's a lot of shite.
At this time of the year, when the grass is far...
Judith's got her feet covered, so we're off to a good start. However, knowing this show, we might see a bolt gun coming soon. You don't know. I just need to be on edge.
From its best. Cows need a supplement of hay. But hay can never be a perfect substitute for grass. And grass grown for hay uses up land that could be used more profitably by the farmer.
See that cow snotter there? So we zoom in on a cow snotter. We won't be going back to that.
Some parts of the world, this has to go on all the year round because no grass grows at all. Unless the farmers invest in this. the bovine version
That sounds good.
of Meals on Wheels. This strange contraption depends on a very basic ingredient.
She nearly smacked herself in the curtain.
Water. 150 gallons of it, to which you add calcium, phosphate,
I said ground up teeth.
nitrates, and several other ingredients. That's used for watering what is basically
I really like the wardrobe as well. They're all just wearing class clothes.
a mobile field.
Oh, aye.
You have to sprinkle seeds on a tray, and it can be rye, barley, or oats.
I once knew a guy that made hydroponic grass in a shipping container thing, but I maybe can't. I won't finish that sentence.
And then these seeds are grown hydroponically, which is without
I was right, hydroponic! I was right!
soil. A technique which has been used before in horticulture, but never
Yes, it has been used extensively in horticulture. I know a couple of horticulture enthusiasts.
before down on the farm. The trays of seeds then have to go right up on the top shelf. After 24 hours, you start to see tiny shoots coming out, and then day by day, the grass grows longer and longer until 7 days later, you have this luscious grass.
Is it not a wee bit dystopian though that like the cows are already out in a field which should be grass, but instead were pure, I don't know, it's just some, this is an indicator that mass farming like that maybe isn't
Only 7 days from
Good.
seed to feed. And this grass machine can grow 1/2 a tonne a day. That's possible because this is the perfect grass growing environment. Fluorescent bulbs provide the ideal lighting, and a temperature control unit keeps all of this at a constant 19 degrees centigrade 24 hours a day. And every 6 hours, the chemically treated water in the tank is turned into this artificial rain that the seeds need to grow into this grass. But I can't stand the wet, so I'm going to beat a hasty retreat. I'm glad to be out of there. But at least this rain containing nutrients does its job well, because that machine produces enough grass to feed 50 cows.
Her hair is going to be so nourished, it'll be like Pantene Pro V, because Pro V means nourish, doesn't it? Well, remember that. I love following fusion science, says Funk Albert. The problem is always containing the plasma. I think there's a German design that instead of a torus, like a donut, like in a tokamak, it used to be completely crazy 3D shape, which for some reason worked much better. It was so difficult to make though, I don't know what happened to it. We still don't have viable fusion. Any day now though, any day now. That's brilliant. Hello beneath the headphones, how's it going? Welcome in. Had quite a good stream so far. I lifted the mystery on psychic phenomenon. Or well, I didn't, I just furthered the mystery of psychic phenomenon. I explained what mermaids are, what grey aliens are, and what spontaneous human combustion was. I nearly live streamed a baby's cock and balls, but I managed to not do that because I'm an expert. I've been doing this now for about 6 years. Avoided cancelling myself. And now we're watching Judith Han grow grass in like a wee annex in the sort of building that we had in high schools, a wee temporary huts. It looks so luscious and green and brilliant, doesn't it? I accidentally had Lucy Kelly's image up for hours behind me. Once again, sorry about that, Lucy Kelly, it shouldn't have happened.
The machine's already been a success in desert areas, for obvious reasons. But no one yet knows, come on cows, come and get it. Nobody yet knows if British farmers will be enthusiastic about it. They are, after all, a traditional lot. But the way the cows on this farm are enjoying it, it seems obvious that they believe that the grass is greener when it doesn't grow in a field.
I bet that tastes amazing to a cow.
In Britain today, we're drinking nearly twice as much alcohol per head as we did 20 years ago.
That's a good transition, isn't it, for happy cows to booze?
And according to a report in this week's British Medical Journal, one study in the Midlands showed that 4 times as many people now suffer from severe alcoholic liver damage. And that's just the...
Moves to booze. Fun Clubber, excellent work. Excellent work, Fun Clubber. Just hear Pipper barking. Pipper's having a wee bark, but Rachel's about. Rachel will figure out why Pipper's barking. I would usually go and investigate it and just leave this playing, but I simply can't do that because of the content that I nearly streamed you earlier.
Liver. Separate research going on in London is showing doctors how much damage drink can do to your brain, because heavy drinking can literally make your brain grow older, faster than the rest of you. Well, have a look at this. It's a cross-section of a well-preserved human brain.
They just like to surprise you, don't they? No forewarning at all. Fuck. I'm still looking at it. Oh, fuck, man. Can you turn the light? Oh, aye. Hiya. Yes. Is Pipper okay? Okay. Can you confirm in about 10 seconds that it's turned off? She didn't confirm, but I assume it's turned off. I now need to, every time we turn a light off or on in the house, because I'm in the middle of upgrading the house to like a smart home, but I've not done it right and I don't really know what I'm doing. So now every time Rachel wants to turn a light off or on, I need to get like an app out, and it's a pain in the arse, man. Anyway, so it turns out there's a human brain on a slab, and I'm just going to skip this story because it does sound like a bit of a downer. There's a guy in an MRI machine. Basically, they're telling us booze is bad for you. Right, okay, so next up, is this a different story? I don't know if this is a different story.
Do you remember this, or rather, do you remember something like this we showed you a few weeks ago? Watch. This is one of those sprays that contains particularly penetrating water repellent. And we're showing you this one because it's a fascinating example of just how competitive this line of technology has become. In most of these formulae, the important ingredient is a chemical containing long-chain molecules. Now, one end of each chain has a particular affinity for metal, the other end has fatty water-resistant properties. The net result, the molecules push the water aside and then stick to the metal, forming a microscopically thin layer which remains long after the water has been dispersed. Now, I said this was a competitive business. Well, the manufacturers of this particular formula, convinced no doubt that they've got it absolutely right, have been looking for the ultimate demonstration of its powers, and they have come up with this. 5 days from now, they intend to drive this car along the bed of the River Thames, completely submerged with its vital electrical components, protected by the spray and the distributor sealed. What else have they had to do? Well, they've had to add a couple of pipes round the back, one to ensure that the exhaust is clear of the water line, the other to ensure there's a constant air supply to the carburettor. Here in the boot, the vehicle will be carrying a pound or two of nautical ballast to make sure that it doesn't float. And the big question is it likely to work? Well, here's a sneak preview. Water, if you'd be so kind, sir. A quick shower in the Tomorrow's World studio, and while we're drenching the engine, Note that there is no windscreen. This is because all those who drive cars under rivers will know well. It's easy if you have the car as full of water as the area outside. The poor old driver, of course, will have to wear a frogman's suit. Not so sure we're actually doing a good job here, so we'll add a bit for good measure. Let's see. Well, why should I be solely responsible for this? On goes the water while you're doing that. Ladies and gents, let's see if she's going to start. Here we go.
Unreal.
Oh, a happy result. Lights.
And we swapped out the 2-cylinder engine for a human brain, as you can see here. Bang! Human brain. Imagine.
All seems to be going well. Well, I can't say for certain that she'll perform as well next week when she's under the Thames, but she's passed the first hurdle. Better luck than I had last week trying to start a car, but then the technology is a little bit younger. Next week, then, we'll be back with another Tomorrow's World, and until then, from all of us, good night to you.
That was 1981, January at some point, 1981. I'm glad they didn't show the cocker balls or the human brain in the outro montage, which they could have done, but they didn't, which is good. I'm quite happy about that. I forgot about that. So, if you want to know what I might accidentally stream that could cancel myself next week, you need to tune in tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we're going to continue Tomorrow's World from 1981, and who knows what the hell I'm going to be streaming there. Will it accidentally be a close-up shot of open heart surgery? Might be. Will it be anatomy of somebody at an age that it's inappropriate to show that stuff? Probably. Will it be feet? Will it just be feet? Might be that. Who knows? But you need to join me at 10:30 tomorrow night, and we will watch another episode. But before that, at 1 o'clock, well, 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, I will also be here live at twitch.tv/1030. I don't know what I'm going to be doing there, but it'll be good. Listen, everybody, thanks very much for coming in. Thanks for the wonderful raids and all the new follows today. Cudder and Devon Inc., thank you very, very much. My name's been James Houston. And Houston is boosting, but before I do, it's time for a magic trick. Listen, everybody, don't have nightmares, do sleep well. See you later, folks. We're raiding Fox Comedy, who was in this afternoon. He might talk about Costco. We were talking about Costco and a big skeleton. Do you remember that? Turns out his partner's in it as well. See you later, everybody. Night, night. Love you. Bye. Bye then. See you later. Love you.
That would be it. I would shut the channel down and be like, well, that's it. We're not ever doing